We are going to bring you updates on the issue of Mumbai pollution and also tell you how the authorities, after a lot of nudge and relentless reporting on the part of Mirror Now, has finally woken up to the situation. In a Mirror Now impact, Mumbai authorities have come up with an action plan amid the worsening pollution levels. This after days of Mirror Now questioning officials about no guidelines or SOP being set by the Mumbai civic body for checking sites which add to pollution, primarily the construction sites. Now the pollution spot checks are going to start from Monday. Before we go into the details of the new action plan, let's put out the figures for you, and here's the full context. As per a report by National Institute of Advanced Studies, from November 2022 to February 2023, Mumbai's air quality was noticeably worse than in many prior years. If we can put out those figures on our screens as well. Out of the 92 winter days, Mumbai observed 66 poor and very poor air quality days as compared to just 28 days in the past 3 years average. Many redevelopment and construction projects are operational across the city, so the increase is due to the intensifying emissions at source, which under the normal scenario of PM 2.5 largely consist of 31% from transport, 20% from industries, 15% from resuspended dust, besides other small sources. So as per this report, the figures, the breakup of the contributors or the polluters are mostly from transport and construction dust. So now we have a task force which is mandated to firstly check the rising pollution levels in Mumbai, visit the areas contributing to the air pollution and take action, and also visit the construction sites, serve them notices and penalize the polluting units if the guidelines are flouted. The concerned authorities will verify the weekly compliance of guidelines through the online medium. So from identification to monitoring to non-compliance to review and corrective measures, this time the task force has laid out its action plan. Let me introduce, joining us here on the program is Professor and Dr. Milind Kulkarni, who's an author and activist. Can we have the guests on screen, please? Yes, Professor Bhagwan Keshbhat, founder and CEO of Waatavaran. Also with us today is Bhagwan Keshbhat. Like I mentioned, he is the founder and CEO of Waatavaran, and of course I just introduced Dr. Milind Kulkarni, author and activist. Very good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me here on the program. This is a very important issue for all of us who live in Mumbai, and I've just outlined why the focus has shifted to Mumbai. It was never a city with a prolonged air pollution problem during winters, but now things have changed. What we have today is a monitoring mechanism primarily, which is set up by the civic body. In terms of prevention, in terms of mitigation, what we need as of now, Dr. Milind Kulkarni, are you satisfied with this action plan that has been put out?
Yes, at least the beginning is done. But it is more important to know how the action plan is implemented. For example, it is necessary to take action on the complaints which are done by the citizens or by others, and there should be a mechanism to tackle them. For example, the action plan envisages the role of solid waste management department or the AE level at every ward. So you should take action, and the accountability should be fixed. And who is the responsible authority, whether it is the sub-regional officer from the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, whether it is the ward officer from the concerned ward, or the assistant engineer for the concerned ward, and the accountability has to be fixed. At the same time, technological information should be provided to the concerned people. For example, when the solid waste management rules were rolled out for bulk generators, BMC organized a big exhibition at Waradi and various other wards within Bombay, and they explained the various stakeholders how to do it. Suppose construction activity is emitting dust. So what are the control technologies which are available, which can be implemented? So it should be a multi-stage approach and then only I think this particular measures will be successful. So it cannot be done within a week or two, but a long term approach is required. But I think good beginning is made.
We sustain very important points, Dr. Kulkarni, that you've made here, and I hope the competent authorities are listening to this. It is not just sufficient to put out a piece of paper and say this is our action plan. It needs implementation. It needs intent to see it through. And on the face of it, yes, of course, these are much needed steps. But Mr. Keshbhat, I believe a group of residents, and of course we've reported about this as well, activists, residents, met with Mumbai civic body, urged them to attend to this problem, especially because of the construction activities, the way the city is seeing the kind of pollution that was never witnessed before, and also waste management. These two issues have aggravated the problem here in Mumbai, and your organization, the founders of Waatavaran, were among them who approached the civic body. Tell us, has it become a battle that the citizens have taken up now? It takes a concerted effort. We've reported on it. Finally, we see some movement. What is your take on how the process is going in terms of tackling air pollution?
So last 5 years, we have been working on the clean air for citizen of Mumbai, and we have been consistent dialogue with the MCGM as well as Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. What we have seen is that the National Clean Air Program came in 10th January 2019, and it has directed all the cities and the commissioner to make its action plan. So the first action plan was been prepared in the 2019 itself. So then why the air quality is not been addressed till now? That's the question citizens are asking last almost 4 years. These are the situations and the scenarios are. So the action plan 2019 itself created, it targeted something 30% should be the reduction in the air pollution. But still we have been seeing that there is the action plan, which is what the Professor Milind sir has said, that it's untouched. We need the citizens want action. Every nooks and corner in the city of Mumbai, people are demanding that. People are restless. So what has to be taken the action, it's overnight. We don't want the paper on the action plan. We need overnight action. So what overnight action? All these construction, the sites and whether it's developer or maybe MMRDA or the CIDCO has to be given the ultimatum that if you're not stopping this pollution, we are been giving you suspension or maybe suspending the site itself. That's something where the citizens are expecting right away. There are the second level of emission is happening in the cities, which is from the industrial emission, where the industries are completely been, it's uncontrolled monitoring and mechanisms are happening. So the MPCB is not taking the responsibility one side, and MCGM, when the Mr. Chair has published the budget session, during the budget session, he told that he's going to monitor directly industry, but that's not happening still now. So that's why the city is getting impacted every day and people are completely feeling helpless.
Yes, and it's not acceptable, isn't it? We see a lot of hectic politicking. Parties are running after symbols and party names. Priority on clean air program is simply missing, Dr. Kulkarni. What would you tell the policymakers at this stage in terms of how important this is? In fact, we call it air emergency every time on the program because we believe it is an emergency situation. After all, it's compromising with our lungs. It's compromising the health of our elderly and our children. We need a sustained program. The problem, like I said, is probably of priority, of focus, like we just heard, that, here is a blueprint, but we need the right intent in the right place. What, according to you, is the worst culprit, sir, in this battle?
Yeah, as I told, the accountability is the most important thing. So I can tell you my own examples. I stay in Andheri West area in Mumbai, near RTO. So there is one RTO plot, and a lot of trucks keep on dumping the construction and demolition waste, other wastes. And we keep on telling the various authorities, pollution control board, ward officer. So even if citizens do complaints, there should be like 24/7 mechanism to observe by some higher authorities what action is being taken by the concerned authorities. And if not action is not taken, what will be the implications? What will be the action taken by those authorities by not taking action? Unless this is done, nothing is going to happen, because I am part of ALM also. At every ward level, there are around number of ALMs. So we complain about, as Mr. Keshbhat was telling, industries are also culprits. At many places, the industries like automobile painting, auto repairs, no, they started at many places the structures are unauthorized. So who will take action about that? And then
Yes.
even if we complain about these industries, then the concerned ward officers or the pollution control board, SRO also we have complained. We have complained to the ward officer also. But we see that nothing is happening further. So this 24/7 monitoring of the complaints after complaint is made, what action is taken, unless that is done, nothing is going to happen.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that is why we continue to do these programs. And you will notice no one else is interested in talking about air pollution. It's this channel that has been on this relentless pursuit. And finally, we have this, directive from the civic body today that from Monday they will start the process. Of course, we'll keep a close tab of that as well. But Mr. Keshbhat, how can citizens better involve themselves? It's very clear that we have to start demanding, we have to start agitating over this. Your word to the Mumbaikars, since you're part of an organization that is actively doing it, how must the civil society be involved? How can we be proactively involved?
So Afrida, in the month of January, we started the petition, which is on the Jhatka platform, and the 50,000 citizens has signed that, demanding that we want the clean air, and we want the implementation of construction dust demolition guideline, immediately. We want the health advisories that what implication is going to be happen on the citizens need to be implemented. Like the way we have seen Aprida in the monsoon, we get the high alert or the orange, red alerts when the monsoon situations are worse in terms of high tide situation. So similarly, the air quality is bad. Why not the citizens are simply getting the message that especially the women, children, and the senior citizen are going to be impacted and need to be taken this kind of the care in terms of avoid the heavy exertions, or this is the immediate information citizen wanted to have. So I can give the example like Sandivli Resident Welfare Association, even in the Milind Association, has been demanding to the local legislators, and the legislator has to demand in the winter assembly that these are the builders who are making the worst situation of air quality because they are not following the construction and dust guidelines. In the same Govt and other areas, residents have been demanding, but they are completely unaware. If they are going to the police station, they are not getting the help. They are going to the MPCP, they are not getting the help. They are going to the the MCGM in the ward offices, they are not getting the proper support. And that's why the situation, the people are angry. They are calling us in the Waatavaran's office, and they are just been they're complaining their unrest, and people are been their children and their family members are been suffering. It's not just one member. Every members in the each, be it in the I'm saying the marine lines, or maybe even in the Kulaba, the complaints are coming from the areas which is not something from like Boroli or maybe Andheri. It's complaints coming from everywhere. So we need overnight action. That's as a mandate as per the National Clean Air Program, is the Mr. Chair has to take the responsibility and take the action immediately.
Absolutely. At the ward level, at the municipality level, at the district, state, center level, whatever it takes, it has to be a sustained program, and there has to be action taken on the defaulters, deterrent action, which can send a message that we are serious about this business. Unless that happens, I don't see much changing, and already, like you mentioned, sir, people are suffering on the ground. I have been a sufferer myself. There are people consistently coughing. It used to not happen so much in Mumbai earlier, but now the health issues have also started, being quite visible across the population in Mumbai. Thank you so much, Professor Kulkarni and Bhagwan Keshbhat, for joining
Thank
us
you.
here on
Thank
the
you, Afrida.
program
Thank
and
you. Thank you very
sharing your
much.
views. Pleasure.
Yeah.